Wow, look at all of you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to see all of you. I love this part of church because you guys are always enthusiastic. You smile, you laugh, and you have a voice, and you let it hear that you are listening, that you know what's going to happen. And I wonder, the things I'm going to share this morning with you, whether you have ever experienced anything like that. How many of you have ever going camping? Woo! Almost everyone is going camping. So when you go camping, you go what? You go panking? Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love that. We can do camping, panking. We do it all together. I think that's like making pancakes while on camping. That's what I did too. Yes.
One day we went to fish.
Oh, yeah. So you had a fishing rod and you went fishing. Did you catch anything?
I caught a little boot and then a fish.
Ah, so you caught something.
And a sardine.
And a sardine. So wow. So that was exciting, wasn't it, to catch things? Yes. What did you do?
We went to have a picnic.
You went to have a picnic. Yeah, that's what you do as well when you go camping. You have a picnic, so you eat outside. So how many of you like going camping? Yeah. How many of you like going camping when it's really, really, really nice and warm and the sun is shining? Yes, me too. How many of you like it when you go camping and it's really, 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 really cold? No. Do you like it when it's really cold?
Skiing.
Oh, you like skiing? Yeah, of course. I mean, when you go for camping and you go skiing, it needs to be cold. Otherwise, there's no snow, right? It's all gone. Yeah. But most of us don't really like it, do we, when it's really cold? What do we do when it's really cold?
You put some gloves and a hat.
Exactly. You put a hat on, you put some gloves on. Now, let me tell you,
A coat.
and you put a coat on. Let me tell you, we were camping, and a scarf, and you put lots of other things on. We were camping this holiday, and it was really, there was no one around. It was just really, really, we were, again, my wife loves to go to these places when there is no one around. I don't know why. It's scary. There were bears, there were wolves. She finds places that you just wonder like, whoa, this place needs a lot of faith. This place needs a lot of faith to trust God that He will take care of us, because you could hear in the night the wolves howling, and you could hear stories from people said that they had seen bears. So it was really camping out there. And we were really in a tent, and we had our blankets, and my daughter, Melody, is really good at it. She had already checked on the internet, what will the weather be like? And she said, Dad, this night is going to be a bit cold. And when she says it's going to be a bit cold, she means it's going to be really, really, really cold. And you could see as we were having the campfire and we had our evening meal, you could see how already the temperature was dropping. It was getting colder. It felt colder, and you could see how the sky was changing, and the stars were very bright, and it really got cold. And then we went to sleep, or we tried to go to sleep. But you know what's the problem when it's really cold? This one. What am I pointing at?
No.
My nose. I have a small nose, don't I? No, this is not a small nose. This is a big nose. And you know what the problem is with a big nose? When it's sleeping, it's sticking up in the air and it's getting cold. And I would wake up all the time with a very cold nose, very cold toes, and very cold ears as well, and hands. Everything was getting cold. And I was crawling closer to Miranda, but she was cold too. So that didn't help anything. So we were really, really, really cold. You know what I did? I put a hat on. I just put a hat on, and not just over my head, not just over my ears, but even over my nose. Really. Really. And my wife had for a moment had a light on, and she saw me there with my head all the way here, and she had to laugh. But at least now it was a little bit warmer. It was so cold. And you know what the problem is when they're really cold? You cannot feel anything anymore. Your feeling goes. That happens when it gets cold. You can't feel anything on your fingers anymore. You only feel cold, cold, cold.
When it's warm, you're just feeling your hand all warm.
Yeah, and that's nice. That's really nice. But you know what? When it's really cold, like this, what have I got here? Ice. Now, is ice cold or is ice warm?
Cold.
It's cold. It's really cold. And it will melt if I hold it in my hand, because here it's not that cold, is it?
You're freezing.
Yeah, if I hold it in my hand, it's really, I mean, I feel it already. It's getting my hands very cold, and it starts to drip. So I'm quickly putting it back. Now, let me see if I got something else here. And see if you know what that is. Huh? It's a sort like a marshmallow.
It looks like an ice cream.
Yeah, it looks a bit like ice cream because of the colors. But you know, is this cold? No. Is this nice?
Yeah, and it's fluffy.
And it's fluffy, and it's very nice. Yeah, I know, now I'm going to have trouble with your parents. Trying to keep you quiet for the rest of the service and then talking about this kind of thing, marshmallow. But this is nice. What do you think it tastes like?
1,000 sweeties, and can we try some?
I don't have that many. But I got other things that you can try later on. I promise you will take something back to your place. I always try to bring something. But this one, I need 2 volunteers. I need 2 volunteers. Yeah, and I know everyone wants to be a volunteer. Okay, 1 young man and 1 young lady. Okay, so I need 2 volunteers, and they're going to try something as I try as well. Okay, so you can take one, and you can take one. Okay, are you allowed to eat this? Yeah. I mean, you can have sugar. Yeah, I need to be safe here. Don't want to get into trouble. Okay, take half of it. Bite half of it off. What does it taste like? Is it tasting good?
Sugar.
It's sugar, yeah. That's why we keep it very small, otherwise you guys will be running around here. So it's sweet, isn't it? Yeah. Now you know what happens? They say that when you take some ice, which I brought, as you could see, I put it in another pot here. So if you take a piece of ice and put it in your mouth, and just hold it in your mouth on your tongue. Don't swallow it. You might have to swallow a little bit of when it melts. Okay, and I'm going to do the same. So, yeah, hold it in your mouth. Just like that. It's good, isn't it? Is it cold? Not cold? Mine is cold. Not cold? What's wrong with you?
I get really used to getting cold stuff.
You're used to getting... Okay, I will repeat. Okay, you hold it. So you hold it for a moment. Do you still have it in your mouth? Yeah. In a moment you can spit it out, and then immediately you need to put that marshmallow in your mouth. There you go. And put it in. And put it in. How long does it take for you to smell the sweet taste again? It took a little while, right? It is not immediately like, oh, there it is again. Because normally when you really take, but it's still good, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, guys, you can sit down for a moment. Thank you very much. You see what happens when you keep your piece of ice a bit longer even in your mouth, and you have a big piece and you really keep it in there, our tongue and our mouth really gets cold. And what happens when it really gets cold, we cannot taste a lot of things while it's cold. It changes very quickly because we are warm people, so we quickly warm up, and within just a few seconds I like that taste, that's a good taste. You see, that's why I couldn't do it for everyone, because that's a lot of ice and things, and it would take ages and we would never finish the children's story. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that like the ice and like the sweets, sometimes when we follow Jesus, it can be a bit like that. You know, when you start following Jesus, everything is nice and everything is good, and it's like almost like the sweet. It tastes so good and everything is, oh, we love it. But then, if we don't sort of really keep an eye on it, it can turn cold. And we can stop loving Jesus even. I've come across people in church that have completely forgotten about Jesus. They don't even know anymore who he is. Yes?
Like the ice, when you taste it, it doesn't taste like lemon, it just tastes like water.
It's just like water. It just melts and there's no taste. And it can be with our faith as well, when we follow Jesus, that it has no more taste. And Jesus says, oh, I would be so sad if I would lose any person and His love for me. Because Jesus will always love us. Do you believe that? Do you believe that Jesus loves all of you? There's none of you here sitting that can say, Jesus does not love me. He will always love you. And that's why, as I promised, you will take something home. It's just a little print to remember that Jesus loves us all. You can see Jesus there, and you can see, what is this? A heart. Jesus loves us. And Jesus' love will never grow cold. And it will always be even better than the sweetie. That's why I love to give you this more than the sweetie. Okay, so I'm going to put them here for you to take one off while you go back to your mummies and daddies. And thank you very much for joining me this morning here.